Yeah, I would like to welcome you to our lesson number 6. And in this lesson, we are going to look at how to file returns given P9, withholding tax, and other income. So we did the preliminaries in lesson number 5. So this is at advanced stage, so I'll just move in and do the necessary. So mine here is to log in. Good. Once you log in to the iTax portal, you click File Return, and then Income Tax Resident. At this point, we are going to download the Excel sheet. Good. Once you download your Excel sheet and you have your information ready, it's time to go. So what you do here, as we did in lesson number 5, is to insert your personal identification number. Return period. No, this is you say that it's original because you're doing it for the first time. And as I explained in lesson number 5, if you're doing it for the second time, you say it's amended. Return period begins from January. Now, ends in December. Now, the main difference between someone who has P9 and someone who has withholding tax or any other business income that is registered using your national identity card is this section here. Yeah. Do you have any other income other than the employment income? Here you normally say yes. Immediately you click yes. There will be additional information down here. Yeah, wait for it to validate. Good. Now we are going to begin with withholding tax, then we go to business, and then we also go to the P9. All the three will be on the same page. Now let's begin with someone with withholding tax. Maybe you are a NEC examiner and you are also doing business and you have withholding tax. This is where you do. There are those people with more than 2 or 3 withholding tax. You can have 5, 7 based on the activity you had in that year. You consolidate them. Yeah, you consolidate them and insert the information here. So those with withholding tax as professionals, maybe you are a teacher, you are an NEC examiner, and you have withholding tax. That is consultancy fee. Whatever you are given there is the consultancy fee. And the total, maybe you had 70,000 as your gross. As your gross income. Now, what did you do? Card. Employment expenses. As a teacher, maybe let me start with teaching. Employment expenses, maybe and you working, you must get paid. Say maybe you spent 30,000 in your salary. Did you have any other employment costs? You did not. What else can you say here? You also incurred some bank charges. You can some bank charges. You can say this 2,000 or 200. Which other expenses can you have as a teacher? You can have telephone. In the process of going to work, you make expenses. Maybe you also had some few stationaries here and there, 300. That is it. That is basically okay. Expenses here, you can have as many expenses. Maybe, I'm just trying to figure out what could be the possible expenses here. Now, yeah, you have to balance. I will be taking you through and just let you see what to do after you have inserted your expenses, your gross profit. You see down here, your salary was 70,000. You insert your expenses, and here it is. You have that 500 as your gross profit. This is what now is going to be additional tax. The additional tax. The additional tax to your P9. That's why you'll find that you'll have to pay this tax at the end. Balance sheet. Of course, you have to be smart on your expenses. You don't overstate or understate your expenses. Balance sheet. What you do here? Hey, I don't encourage people. Don't start writing that they have a land, have plant and machinery. This one, you are not. These are basically for companies. If you are just a professional, you went there, just state what finance your movement is there. You come and say that you had a cash at bank of 4,000. Don't tend to fill everything you find here. And then you had an overdraft. You took a salary loan. You had an overdraft of 4,000. That is it. Your liabilities will balance with your assets. That is basically what the balance sheet is interested in, or look at. You just need to balance your liability. So don't. Of course, this sheet is normally filled even by companies and other businesses. So you don't have to fill everything you find here. Now, at this wear and tear is not important. All this other information for a professional who has withholding tax. This one for business. Now, before I move out of this point, there are those people who have businesses and they are registered under your ID. You have SME. They put this page. Your income here is not, look here. Now, your income here is not professional. You now indicate gross turnover. Maybe you're doing farming, you're doing whatever, all these businesses here. But most of those people who have SMEs, they have business. You'll come and click here. Then you because you prepare the profit and loss, you must capture your expenses correctly. Capture your expenses correctly until they give you the gross profit. Yeah. Capture your expenses correctly until they give you the gross profit. Now, how to prepare a profit and loss account? That one you need to consult an accountant or a professional. If you miss one, you can just hit my inbox and let me know and be of help. Balance sheet as well. This for businesses, people. You need a smart accountant to prepare for your balance sheet. So I'm not going to deeper details about the balance sheet because assets normally depreciate. You must factor depreciation. You must get the net book value. Your total asset must be financed by liabilities. You know what we do in business? Liabilities are the loans you get and the source of funding. whatever assets you have must have been financed by something. So your asset must balance with your liabilities. And in liabilities, normally have long-term liabilities and short-term liabilities. Long-term liabilities, these are the long-term debt loans that go beyond 1 year. And short-term liabilities, these are the overdraft and the small loans that take less than a year. Good. Once you're done with this part, I said this part is for people with withholding tax certificate and people with other business income. Now, of course, being a profession, you're also employed. So you'll come back and continue with your employment income. You continue with the employment income. Here, you're going to insert the PIN of your employer. PIN of your employer. You set the PIN of your employer here. P05109808. For N. Maybe your employer is TSC. Your employer is TSC. Now, all the other details that I'm going to continue from here are the ones that were captured in lesson number 5. So about the P9. So gross salary, gross pay, we had mentioned in lesson number 5, we use 1.5 million. Allowance and benefit, we say this one is 0. We also say this one is 0. We also say this one is 0. If you want to learn more, continuing from here, you watch lesson number 5. But basically, here we don't have a lot of stuff. So once you're done with this part, we come to this part now. Here we had already inserted the PIN of the employer. This is TSC, and then taxable salary, we had mentioned is 1.5 million. Now, this I've indicated 15 million. 1.5 million. Taxable pay, here we said is the gross tax. Tax before relief. We said we had used 390,000 in our lesson number 5. And if you take 390,000 minus personal relief, minus 28,800, we say that we should use 361,200. This is borrowed from lesson number 5. And we say that the difference here should be your monthly personal relief. Good. Now, all the other details are not important for at this point. You move to the last page. Of course, in case you had borrowed last year, you made a loss, you will come and capture here. This is for business people anyway. But for those with the withholding tax, of course, you don't make a loss. Those with business, if you want to have understanding of the other finer details, you can let me know. You can let me know. Comment down there and leave your contact. I will give you a call. Income tax. Now, I'm interested in this last part. I'm interested in this last part. This last part here, we normally put our pension, of course, all other details as they were in lesson number 5. Our pension was 27,000. And then here we had personal relief. Personal relief, it is 28,800. Now here, this part here, withholding tax, the one that is credited in your withholding tax certificate, you must bring it here. Maybe this is 4,000 or 4,800. Yeah, remember this is withholding tax amount, and then there is with income paid in advance. This one is for those people with commercial vehicles. Withholding tax for rental. So basically, the other details Me, I'm dealing with withholding tax for professionals. Good. You see down there, there is negative 50. What did you say about the negative? When you find negative, means that you have to go back to your banking details in the basic information section. Yeah, banking details, and insert when you have negative, banking details will open. We see that when we have in the banking details, it can only open up when we have a negative. So without a negative, it means that this part cannot open up. So you choose the bank, and we had agreed that we choose equity, not because equity is doing any better, but just for our learning. Then Changamwe, city is Mombasa, and then account holder name is John, and then account number. This is just a random number. It has no specific meaning. So don't go back, don't go to this branch and say you want to deposit money to this account. Yeah. Now, good. We say that this has occurred because we have a negative. We have a negative in our iTax computation. Yeah. We have a negative in our iTax computation. Now, the expenses you include in your profit and loss account will determine the amount that will appear here. If you have so much expenses, then the amount of tax will reduce because the taxable income will be less. And also expenses will also depend with the withholding tax. If I reduce the withholding tax, if I say the withholding tax is 2,400, you see, that means, withholding tax, it means that the proportion of the tax that was subjected to your income is relevant, is equal or less than the actual tax that is supposed to be paid on such amount of income. Therefore, if the withholding tax is slightly more or slightly the same as the amount of tax you're supposed to pay, then that means we'll definitely get a negative. Because the other details means that they have been captured from your P9. Good. Now in this point here, you only need to validate. As we said, once you validate, you need to go back to your, you need to take note of the location of this file. Remember, this file, this form that I'm filling here is not the one to be uploaded. You upload a zip file. Meaning what? That you must take note of where that file has been taken to. So once you validate, what next? You go to your portal. Go to your portal and upload. So here you need to upload. You need to upload your file. Yeah. So I said, take note of where your validated file goes to. Yeah. Like in this case, in most of my files, they go to documents. So I'll choose a file. Choose a file. If I go to documents and I select some of my, like this file, I had done this stuff before. I open up. Now this is where my uploaded file is. Yes. And then I click agree. And finally you click submit. Remember that immediately you submit, you can download the receipt on the portal, and another receipt will be sent to your email. So basically that's what we do when we want to file income tax, given P9, withholding tax certificate, or you have another business that is registered using your ID. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel. The next thing you're going to watch is you're going to learn about the emerging issues in tax. Don't miss to watch the next lesson, lesson number 7. Emerging issues in tax. Welcome.